And this one is an abstract strategy game where each player is going to have a bunch of different pieces out on a main board, and each of those pieces is going to be associated with a different shape. You're going to have a bunch of each of these shapes, except for the pentagon. You're only going to have one of those each. And that's important to note because there's two ways to win this game. You could be either the first player to capture your opponent's pentagon, or you could be the first player to occupy both of these yellow spaces at the end of your opponent's turn. And players are going to be alternating turns, making their movements and attacking the other players. But it's important to note the geometry associated with the unit that you are moving, because each of the shapes means a different amount of movement points. So the circle, which is comprised of just one face, means that you can only move one space, whereas the triangle, you can move 3 spaces. The square, you can move 4 spaces, and your pentagon can move 5 spaces. But something that is also important to note is that the power of each of these units is inversely related to the amount of movement they have. And this is all represented on this table here, where you can see that the sphere unit can capture any one of the other units. But if we move down, say, to the square, you can see that it's not able to even capture a sphere. It can capture a triangle unit, but it will also get captured itself, whereas it is able to capture other square units, and it is able to capture the pentagon unit. And I really do like how the movement and strength for each unit are kind of inverse of each other, because it's going to force players to choose between movement and strength whenever they're attacking, or maybe making some of their units vulnerable, or even sacrificing some of their units for a greater play. And the game continues like this until a player fulfills one of those 2 endgame win conditions, and the first player to do that wins the game. And of course, if you're interested in this one, I do have links down below.